So, live service, every gamer's favorite topic, favorite thing, actually. Now, sorry guys, I'm sick, but now developers are just straight up being asked this. They're just like, "Yo, you got some of that live service? You got a little bit of live service in there? We need to know. We need to know." The thing that single-handedly destroyed the gaming industry in the last month, it seems like. So, the big popular game right now, Helldivers 2, the CEO of Arrowhead, who made Helldivers 2, was interviewed and he was asked this question about live service and what does he think about live service in Helldivers 2. Will they implement more of it because it already currently has some monetization in it? And this is what he had to say. I'm going to pull up an article of the interview and his response. It is actually a little bit confusing, but we'll get into it and discuss this. And you can comment down below what you think and if you think it should be a live service game. All right. So Arrowhead CEO says the live service aspect of Helldivers 2 has to be secondary to delivering a full experience for $40. We view ourselves as a live service game because it's unfair to say anything else. So very humbling and very good response right there. He says we want to give out a full game first for $40, but it's also unfair to say we're not a live service game because they have live service aspects in the game. So yeah, CEO Johan Pilestead is just a little bit reluctant about embracing the live service label. I would be too. It is like saying something that'll get you canceled. You don't want it to have anything to do with your game. All right. So there are a lot of live service games out there these days, and it's not a trend we wholeheartedly love, but amidst the formulaic deluge, some games get it right. Helldivers 2 is a great example of that. But in a new interview with PC Gamer, Arrowhead CEO Johan Pilestead sounded almost reluctant to embrace the label. So he says, we view ourselves as a live service game because it's unfair to say anything else, Pilestead said. We are going to continue adding more stuff to the game, and there are monetization elements in the game. But that aspect of the game has to go hand in hand with the base game, which Pilestead said should give you a full experience, like a really good several hours of good playtime. Further monetization should be entirely optional, and more importantly, shouldn't come into play until well after the experience of the base game is over. If you imagine what's happening with the game in year 2, year 3, year 4, at that point you need to shift the model or the content that we put out for free, like new enemies, new missions, whatever it might be. We also give the players the opportunity to support us in continuing to build the title, Pilestead said, and that kind of has always been our philosophy in any game that we've made so far, and we expect to continue having the same mentality for as long as we can. So this is the confusing part. So he's saying when he looks at what's happening later down the line, years from now with Helldivers 2, they need to shift the model where the content that they would put out for free, like missions and enemies, and then he doesn't say, then he just says, give the players opportunity to support us in continuing to build the game. So I think he means in the future, they're going to basically do what studios used to do a long time ago and just have DLCs. Hey, here's a new mission, here's a new planet, here's a new enemy variant, $10, and you could play this, like the map packs of old. So I think right now they give stuff for free, but in the future, like, please support us. This is going to be $10 now. That's what I got from this. But you can put down below in the comments if you disagree. That's just what I got from that because the way he sounded, it was confusing. He continues, currently, Helldivers 2's primary monetization lever is a $10 premium war bond that offers a few extra guns, outfits, and weapon variants. War bonds behave like battle passes in that you unlock them page by page, but you can't pay real money to skip tiers and they never expire. In a sense, they're more like the mini expansions. They're more like mini expansions. Those distinctions have made them relatively popular with fans. So they don't expire. I believe battle passes in other games do expire, and you can't just pay to skip tiers. You have to play. But the $10 premium war bond, though, I'm still pretty sure you can get that. You can get that war bond just by playing and then purchase it with in-game currency. And that's why people love it so much, because you don't have to buy it. You can just purchase it with in-game currency. Pilested's approach to making and monetizing games is rooted, at least in part, in his background in the modding community on games like Quake and Half-Life. I helped any mod team that I could with art, level, design, code, whatever it was, he said. I got into all of them, a lot of them, at least. And the inspiration that we have for any title that we make is to mimic sort of the enthusiasm that existed back in the modding days between the mod team and the fans. And it's an approach that's working well, despite a rough start with overloaded servers that led to a flurry of negative user reviews on Steam. Helldivers 2 has clawed its way back to a mostly positive rating across more than 152,000 reviews. More importantly, people are playing it in huge numbers. 3 weeks after launch, it's still the number 3 most played game on Steam in terms of concurrence, with today's peak surpassing 372,000. Players are deeply committed to the game, especially now that the server issues are resolved, and players' genuine excitement for the future, which will include new goodies for players to wreak havoc with, including, we're pretty sure on this one, mechs. Pilested also talked about how Helldivers 2 is similar to D&D, thanks to an all-powerful war master named Joel, who's behind the scenes machinations will ensure Super Earth's war against everything will grow more and more sophisticated over time. You don't want to miss it. It's good stuff. So, yeah, it's cool that there's someone behind the scene basically doing the war strategy like D&D, and that's how the game will continue. And we are getting mechs, so they confirmed that in this, that we are most likely getting mechs. But what I took from this review or article here is that he was a big modder. He was in the modding community for Quake and Half-Life. That's probably why the game is so fun. And he says it, that they mimic the enthusiasm that they did back in the modding community. If you've ever seen games with mods in them and how they're crazy, it kind of relates to how Helldivers 2 is. So I don't mind his response at all. I think it's good. Their monetization is very low, and you could get everything anyway. They don't lock it behind more money. He's just saying that years down the line, in year 2, 3, 4, when we're adding more and more and more stuff, because this game is such a big hit, has a big player base. If you want to support us, please, can you pay? I think they're saying, please pay a little bit to get this extra planet, to get this new enemy faction, to get these new weapons and armor and skins, and they'll charge for that. But I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad at all. It's just normal DLC, and I was fine with DLC back in the 2010s and 2007, 2008, 2009 map packs. I was fine with that. So that's what his response was. I think it was good. Sorry, I'm still sick. So sound off in the comments down below. What do you think about potential further monetization in Helldivers 2? Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.